In the last few decades, 500,000 nomads, 1/4 of the country's population, has swapped the desert for a shack on the outskirts of Nouakchott or Nouadhibou. And another 600,000 people have left the country.
We do not get many visitors. The other camps are far away, but sometimes the neighbors are inspired to come. And there's one person who never fails to come. His name is Ahmed. My radio is the only one within many kilometers that can pick up broadcasts from Europe, and Ahmed comes every day to listen to the French radio newscast. His brother immigrated to Marseille 3 years ago, and he says to him by listening to the French radio. He wants only to follow his brother's footsteps. I don't mind doing him this favor. In fact, I've also gotten quite accustomed to listening to it. And when Ahmed isn't here, I often tune it in anyway. Neither of us speaks French, but it has simply become a habit.
July is the last of the dry months of the year. The rainy season is coming, and certainly in a few weeks the grass will begin to grow. Not to the point of making Data's dream come true, the dream of immense green meadows that will make her children return home, but enough to keep alive the hope that the Sahel desert frontier will continue allowing the nomads to roam freely. Like the rest of the family, Ali and Data will go to the family gathering at the palm grove. The summer pasture is all used up, and they need to move the camp towards an area where they can find food until the rain comes. The camels do not need a lot of water, but the goats do. The only place to find fresh grass is in the south, where the humid areas are found.
It has been a long time since I've seen my brothers. I often remember the times when more than 100 people came together for the Getna. People came to the palm grove from places that I've never heard of. We only see my uncles and cousins at the Getna, which is why we anxiously await this moment. At night, our parents would stay up talking and singing until very late. My cousins, my brothers and I, would leave the palm grove and walk for a long time until the high moss looked like small lightning bugs and the canticles could barely be heard. Then everyone started to leave, one by one, and we never came together again. I've not gone to school, but I like to listen carefully to what people say. I have memorized a phrase that a foreigner once read to me. He said that walking is in itself an encouraging movement. One's head becomes just as vivacious as one's legs. He who walks gives free rein to his fantasy, imagination, and thinking. He who walks this way has no possessions. Possessions require a sedentary life. You have to stay where you are. In the desert, since nothing owns us, we own everything.
The Tanusher oasis is about 2 hours from Chinguetti. The route is bad, and it once was an actual minefield because of the confrontations between the Mauritanian government and the Polisario Front. With the end of the colonial period, during the second half of the 20th century, they divided the land, and Mauritania was established as a new state south of Morocco. For the family, the Getna festival is the best time of the year. The dates are ripe, and it is the perfect excuse to continue relaxing. Harvesting dates is not big business in the Tanusher oasis. In fact, no one collects them with the idea of selling them, but rather, their only intention is to eat dates during the entire month. And if need be, they dry some of them in order to eat them throughout the year. During the Getna festival, everything takes place slowly, and with a certain routine as well. They get up every day at sunrise, and before the sun is so high, making it impossible to walk out in the open, they collect the dates. As the days go by, it is more difficult to find palm trees packed with them. What a pleasure it is to peel a ripe date and let the sugar pulp slide down your throat. Not all the dates are the same. There are different levels of quality, more than 100 types, distinct flavors, and they even look different. There are very few palm trees that can offer juicy dates. Fertile trees are well looked after, as if they were members of the family. A fertile palm tree should be taken care of throughout the year and protected from the sand. It's an investment. There are many people who will pay a lot of money for a fertile palm tree. Before, only the nomads came to these areas. But now, it has become a fad among those who earn money in the city. As soon as a business works out, people buy a herd of camels and a palm tree. The desert advances. This oasis, which only a few years ago was twice as big as it is today, probably won't last much longer. When Saint-Exupéry said that a man's kingdom is interior, like the desert, that it is not made up of sand or of veiled Tuaregs, he must have meant the invisible desert, which is as real as the other one, although only a few people can perceive it. But the real desert, the one that can be weighed and measured, is made up of sand and face-veiled Bedouins. They are the same men who will one day remove the cloths that cover their faces and flee to the city.
These dunes are threatening us. 20 years ago, they were very far away, and each year they are more than 2 meters closer to the palm trees. In the last 20 years, they have grown about 40 meters on every side. When the sand reaches the palm trees, fruit will not be able to grow. Some of the palm trunks are so smooth that it is impossible to climb them. The trunk gets thinner, little by little, until it ends up falling down. The dunes force us to cover the roots so that the palm trees can live longer. If this continues, in 15 years, there won't be any palm trees nor anyone to take care of them. Although my true occupation is business, I dedicate a large part of my time to the Quranic school. In Chinguetti, I give classes to children of all ages, but here in Tanusher, I only have a straw hut where every afternoon I work with the youngest children. The children of today do not like to study very much. They like to play. They are not like us. Today, everything is different.
يحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا يحسب أن لم يره أيحسب أتاش فوقه أتا فوقه ثنتين ما فوقه ثلاثة وثا فوقه ثلاثة ما يشتغل قم أرجع البلد